Hey, what's up everyone? PersNikity here. Welcome back to the Evil Within AKUMU difficulty walkthrough. We are moving on to Chapter 3, Claws of the Horde. Now, as I said in the last video, Chapter 2 is one of the hardest levels in the game. So if I had to tell you right now, I'd say the hardest levels are 2, 6, 10, and 11. That's in my opinion anyway. So the good news is Chapters 3 and 4, and maybe 5, they're kind of a breeze through. I think Chapter 3 right here is not very tough. The only thing you have to worry about is killing the Sadist, and I'm going to show you a really useful strategy to kill him that does not involve using shotgun ammo or the crossbow. You can kill him with only grenades and a pistol, which is what I'm going to show you how to do later on. And I'll kind of tell you later on also why that's an effective strategy. Now, there's going to be a crow at the top of these stairs here. I highly recommend you shoot him. It's okay if you miss a bullet because we're not going to need that many throughout this level because we're not going to be killing any of the smaller haunted. But the reason I tell you to kill that crow is because there's a good chance that he will be he'll drop a grenade. Now, in my case, he dropped green gel, which, hey, I'll take it. But the point is, to use my strategy, you're going to want to get as many grenades as you can. And the thing is, this is the level where they introduce the grenades, so you do have a high probability of getting a grenade by killing that crow. I think on my practice playthrough, I got a grenade twice in a row, so either way, you're going to get something good out of the deal, so I definitely recommend you do that.
Shit.
And so now we're going to come to this area here, and what we're going to do, before we go and trigger the cutscene, because what will happen is you'll trigger a cutscene, you'll open a gate, and then once you open the gate, that's kind of when all hell breaks loose. So before we do that, we're just going to run around and collect everything that we can in this initial area. So you're going to see that if I try to run up to the further end of the map, there's going to be this large iron gate that automatically will shut. And that's going to happen no matter what. There's nothing you can do about it. It's story related. So go ahead and do that. Now you're going to come in here. And you can see there's a portal room right there with a personal document in it, and if you want, you can go and save. Now you see right here, I just picked up my first grenade, so like I said, this level there's a high probability of you getting the grenades you need. Now you're going to see those bombs on the wall. Just like the tripwire bombs, you can disarm those, but it's a lot harder. You actually have to do a little timing mechanism, and on AKUMU mode, it's pretty difficult. So I'm actually going to go through this entire game without ever disarming one of those wall bombs. I'm either going to crouch under them or I'm going to shoot them from far away, but I'm just not very good at disarming those. If you are, then by all means do it because you'll get yourself some free parts.
Who's there?
No, don't shoot. I'm not one of them. I'm a doctor, Marcelo Jimenez.
You were in the ambulance before it crashed, right?
Yes, we're lucky to be alive.
Have you seen anyone else?
My patient Leslie. I saw him running up ahead, but...
But?
Come this way. Quietly, mind you.
Alright, so Jimenez is going to tell you to open the gate. And like I said, once you open that gate, that's kind of when the level really starts. That's when all the haunted are going to come into play. So before you open that gate, take the time to explore this other house. There's green gel, there's ammo, there's matches, there's all sorts of things. And also it might just be helpful to kind of acquaint yourself with the layout of the level before you let loose on the haunted. So you're just going to see me right here. I'm running around, disable this tripwire for some free parts. I'm going to go downstairs and get some green gel, and I think I'm going to pick up another grenade, which again is very important in taking down the Sadist. Alright guys, and while we're running around collecting all these resources, I want to pose a question for you. And this is something I started doing very recently during my Dead Space Let's Play, and basically I call it the random question of the video. So what I do is, during each Let's Play, I ask a random question, I give you my answer, and then I encourage you to leave your answer in the comments below. And these questions are, they can range anywhere from something to do with the game, something to do with a different game, or sometimes just things that don't even have to deal with games. And so today's random question is very simple. So as I mentioned, this is something I started doing in Let's Plays, not walkthroughs. So today's random question of the video is, should I do random questions of the video in my walkthrough videos? So basically what would happen is, at the start of every video, when I introduce the level and talk about some initial strategies, I would pose a random question for you guys. It could have to do with the game. It might deal with, what is your favorite food to eat for dinner? What toothpaste do you enjoy the most? Anything. That's the point of a random question. And And then, you know, I'll give you my answer. And then, like I said, it'd be awesome if you gave your answer in the comments below. So today's question is very simple. If you've been following the Dead Space Let's Play, you know how those questions work. So my question to you is that something you would like to see in walkthrough videos as well? It might not be something I do for walkthroughs in newer games, but a lot of the times I do walkthroughs for older games. And so I would have more time in the commentary essentially to ask those questions. So I'll go ahead and leave that to you. Leave your answer in the comments below. And now, as you saw, we are getting ready to engage in the fight. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and stop in the hospital because I need to make some upgrades. Most important is your sprint. So Sebastian at the beginning of the game, he has a terrible sprinting ability. It's bad. You get exhausted very quickly, and if you get exhausted, he'll hunch over, and it kind of makes you wonder how in the hell he became a detective in the first place, given that he cannot sprint across this room without getting winded. Now, obviously, the game, they need to start you off at a lower ability, but I still think that they went a little too low with how poorly he sprints at the beginning of this game. So that's going to be one of our main priorities when it comes to upgrading, is upgrading his sprint ability to at least level 4. Now, I've seen other people do it to level 3, so I'm sure, you know, you can get by with that. But a lot of strategies that I have adopted during my playthrough involve a lot of sprinting, because I try to go for the ammo conservation approach, and so sometimes you just have to run away from enemies. You don't have to kill them. So sprinting for me is very important. Now anyway, I mentioned in the last video we picked up these 2 keys, and I didn't say a whole lot about what the keys did, but in the hospital you're going to find this back room here with all of these lockers, and each locker, once you unlock it, has an assortment of random goodies. And you see here it's a lot of shotgun ammo, and that is a lot of ammo. And the way you unlock those lockers is by finding those keys, so it really does pay off to search around for those keys. And of course, like I said, I'm going to be showing you in this walkthrough how to get every single one of those keys, but you're going to want to get them, or at least get most of them, because they did save me a number of times. I was able to get a resupply on shock bolts when I ran out, or I was able to get pistol ammo when I really needed it. Alright, and so now we're going to go to the upgrades. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade sprint. I'm going to upgrade that to level 2 for now. That should be fine for this next section, and then I'm just going to leave it. Now, personally, I always like to leave some green gel in my inventory at all times, just in case I'm having a hard time with a section. I can just return to the save room and use that little bit of green gel to alter my approach and maybe upgrade something different. So I never will spend all of my green gel at once. And then also, for future reference, when I go to the upgrade chair, I'm going to kind of speed up those videos. I just wanted to show you that first one at normal speed so you can kind of witness how it's done. There's going to be a hatchet right there. I think you should actually leave the hatchet. I picked it up prematurely, and I think now I'm not going to be able to use it later on. Or maybe I will, I can't remember. But the hatchet is there, just so you know. And now we're going to go ahead and approach Jimenez to trigger another short cutscene.
Have a look for yourself. Those things chased me all the way into the village.
Me too. They're all over the place.
Leslie went through that gate. Good Lord.
There are too many to shoot our way through.
One of us could try to lure them away while the other gets the gate open. You're the one with the gun.
If you say so.
Alright guys, here we go. This is where the gameplay really starts. This is where the only challenge comes in the level. You're going to open the gate, and now, like I said, all hell is going to break loose. This is where all of the haunted will now kind of be roaming the area, and you're going to have to get past them. So initially you're going to spawn in this attic here, and there's going to be a couple haunted that follow you up these stairs. So what I recommend doing is, like I said, I picked up the hatchet earlier. I could have used it on that guy, but instead I'm actually just going to run around these guys. Now that idiot decided to run up the stairs. I accidentally got in the cabinet there. That was not on purpose, so don't feel like you need to do that. But the point is, once again, you'll see how I'm not bothering to disarm these wall bombs. I'm just going to go ahead and run past them, crouch under them. And now right here, once you leave this building, you're going to get a checkpoint. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take cover behind this cart here. Now, there are a ton of haunted in this area, and the problem is if you want to pick up the shotgun and the crossbow, you're going to have to kill a lot of these guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to defeat the Sadist with only the pistol and grenades, and by doing so, you won't have to kill many of these haunted at all. You can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of ammo, and a lot of stress. Because keep in mind, in order to get out of this area, you need the chainsaw, and the only way you can get the chainsaw is by killing the Sadist. And so ahead of me is what you call a Ruvik doppelganger, and you do not want that enemy to see you, because if he sees you, he will spawn, he'll kind of spawn Laura, which is the girl with the really long arms, and if he sees you, you have a good shot of dying. Now here, your chances of surviving are a little better because it's a wide open area, so you can just run away from him as fast as you can, and hopefully he'll lose sight of you. In fact, that is going to happen to me later on, and that's why I decided to leave it in the video and not refilm this section, because I wanted to show you that it is possible to get away from the doppelgangers if they see you. It's hard, but this is a good area to do it because it's so wide open. There's lots of ways you can run away and he can lose sight of you. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and travel to the second floor of the barn up here, and I'm getting ready to trigger the Sadist. So the Sadist right now is locked up, and he cannot get out until you trigger him to get out. And so basically the way you do that is you just try to shoot him a couple times, he'll break free of his chains, and then that's when the boss fight begins. And so I don't know if a lot of people know this, but once you kill the Sadist, all the other haunted in the area will just disappear. I don't necessarily know why, like significantly to the story why that happens, but that is a fact. Once you kill the Sadist, all of the haunted will disappear. That's a strategy I'm going to take advantage of in this chapter, and I'm also going to take advantage of that same little bug in chapter 6. And it's going to save you a lot of ammo, a lot of time, and a lot of stress. So right here, the doppelganger saw me, and that's why you heard that scream. So now the arms are chasing me. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to run away as fast as I can. And like I said, this is such a large map. This is such a wide open area that if you just move fast enough, the doppelganger should not be able to catch you. So you see, I should have just dropped down that ladder. I shouldn't have bothered climbing down. But I'm still getting chased. And now it's ended. So I am no longer being chased. You can no longer hear the arms chasing me. And so now, that was not planned. Obviously, I didn't want to be seen by the doppelganger, but the reason I left this take in there is so that you can see it is possible to get away from them if they do see you. Now I'm going to kill these two enemies on the side of the barn because that's just going to make my life a little easier in a couple seconds, and you'll notice I picked up a checkpoint when I did that. That's pretty helpful because now we are going to begin the Sadist boss fight. So you'll notice so far I've only killed 2 enemies. And I used an axe and a match. So I have not yet spent any ammo on any small enemies. You can see the doppelganger over there in the barn. He'll eventually leave you alone. And again, like I said, I do not want him to see me. If he does see you, don't panic. Just run away and try to run, obviously, to an area that doesn't have a lot of haunted occupying it. But so I'm just going to let him leave, and that's when I'm going to begin this Sadist boss fight. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to kill this guy with only pistols and grenades. You're going to need at least 2 grenades, and there are plenty of them lying around this map. In fact, there's one that I did not pick up. I accidentally missed it, so I could have had 3 grenades in this area, but I just wasn't observant enough. So you can easily have multiple grenades. You should be able to find at least 2, no problem. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot the Sadist. He'll break out of his chains, and now I'm going to immediately run to the side of the barn here, run up these stairs, and then jump on this little roof here. And believe it or not, the enemies cannot hurt you when you're on this roof. The only enemies that can hurt you are the ones that are going to throw, like, axes at you. But you're going to see I get around that with my grenades, because what's going to happen is all of the enemies are going to conglomerate right here at the base of this roof. I'm going to just chuck a grenade. Make sure you run away a little bit so that the blast doesn't hurt you. And then that grenade is going to blow up pretty much all of the little guys, and it's going to do significant damage to the big guy. So once again, boom, 2 grenades. Now I'm going to just resort to using my pistol, and I'm just going to get as close as I can, and I'm just going to get headshot after headshot. And again, you can see, watch him right here. He actually killed a bunch of those little guys for me. So even if those little guys had had an axe on them, he might even kill them with a swing of his chainsaw. And now, like I said, I'm just going to get as close as I can. I think that took about 8 or 9 pistol shots, but the benefit here is because he gets stuck, you can get as close as you want to him, and it's very, very easy to pull off headshots. And so obviously, even though at this point in the game the pistol is not that strong, if you get, you know, that many headshots in a row, it is going to add up and do significant damage. And like I said, if you have 3 grenades going into that section, that's even better. The grenades are what did the bulk of the work there. And keep in mind too, when I went to the upgrade station, I didn't even bother upgrading my pistol. That's an option as well. You can upgrade your pistol to have higher damage, and maybe you'll even be able to spend less shots. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roam this area. I'm going to show you where the keys are, and then I'm going to get all the stuff like the shotgun and the crossbow. So you're going to crawl up to this little crow's nest here, and I accidentally fell down. But anyway, go ahead and crawl up, look down the hatch, and you'll see the statue right there on the ledge. Go ahead and shoot it, and then the key will just fall down to the ground. There's 4 keys in this area, so you're going to want to make sure you get all 4 of them. They're all very simple to find. Second one is going to be right here in the center of the village. Look up, and it's being suspended from a wire. Now turn around, you'll see this wall, and on top of the wall is the 3rd statue. Go ahead and shoot it, get your 3rd key. And now finally the 4th key is just going to be at the very top of this barn here. So go ahead and re-enter the barn. And there's probably a lot of stuff I initially missed. So you see I just picked up some matches, and now I'm going to go up the other ladder, but make sure you shoot that bomb or disarm it first, whatever you feel more comfortable doing, and then make your way up, and there will be the 4th and final key. And then, like I said, guys, in this area is the shotgun and the crossbow. The problem is it's really hard to pick those up without having to kill a ton of enemies, because they are in the buildings that have a lot of enemies surrounding it. So you see I'm going to go in this building here. And like I said, once I killed the Sadist, there are no more haunted. It makes your life so much easier to just kill the Sadist with grenades and pistol. I'm serious. It just makes things so much better, because now you can freely roam this area, pick up all the resources. There's the shotgun I just picked up. Now keep in mind, the shotgun and the crossbow, they are going to be in randomized locations. Sometimes they're in the building on the left, sometimes they're in the building on the right, sometimes there's one in each building. It always changed for me. So just make sure you walk around. I promised you the crossbow and the shotgun are in this level, and they shouldn't be too hard to find. They're pretty much out in the open in the houses. But yeah, so anyway, now that I collected all 4 of those keys, I'm going to go ahead and return to the hospital here, and you're going to see I get a buttload of green gel. I think I just got 15,000 green gel, and that's going to come into handy when I do some more upgrades. So you see I'm going to approach the upgrade chair. I'm going to pimp out my stock. I'm going to make sure I can carry more agony bolts and more grenades and more matches. So agony bolts, grenades, and matches. Now I'm going to go ahead and increase the damage on my bolts. And for now I should be good. But the bolts are a huge benefit for you. Having a lot of matches is good too. Eventually we'll get that full up to 30 matches. And then, like I said, sprint time and damage multipliers, those will come in handy as well. Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. Once you kill the Sadist and pick up his chainsaw, and then once you scavenge this whole area, picking up everything there is to offer, you can go ahead and approach the gate, and that will be the end of level 3. So once again, remember to answer the random question in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. Hope you're liking the walkthrough so far. The response has been great, and I'll see you in Chapter 4.
Wait! Over here! Wait, officer. You must take me with you.
Detective Castellanos.
Leslie should be just ahead. It is imperative that we find him.